My pronouns are she and her. I'm a woman sitting at the table wearing a blue suit.
Well, congratulations, Vice President. I'm glad your pronouns are she, her, and I obviously can see you're a woman and sitting at the table. Joe Biden sells our land and our oil to China while Americans scramble, panic, and suffer at the hands of this nonsense and his nonsense policies. Shame on you, Joe Biden. You're still a crook, a swamp politician, even in your downfalling years. It's a recession, Joe. Repeat the line. It's a recession, and it's your fault, Joe. Repeat the line. It's your fault. Now let's bring in the common sense cowboy, Patrick Dorinson. Cowboy, got a little heated up there. I hope you're all right. It's not a recession, but it's a recession. Help us out. Help us out, Fred.
Well, first of all, that was pretty hot, Eric, but I'll tell you, out here in Idaho, it's so hot they're feeding the chickens ice chips so they won't lay hard-boiled eggs. You know, it's funny, with all this lying we got in Washington, I'm reminded of what Mark Twain once said, always tell the truth. That way you won't have to remember anything. And these guys have taken lying to such a high art form that they've even surpassed some of the biggest liars in United States history. The other thing is, when they talk about, recessions or this new bill they passed, think about it. They call the new bill full of nothing but, taxes, spending, corporate welfare. They call that the Inflation Reduction Act. They call the recession, as our dear KJP told the press, she says, well, this is a transition to growth. These guys read Orwell's 1984, and they think it's a how-to guide on how to run a government. And it really is a novel, only that novel is now
Cowboy,
plaguing this country. So
you're right. I want to jump in because you mentioned KJP, you mentioned Karine Jean-Pierre, the spokesperson, the mouthpiece for the Biden administration. Let's take a listen to what she had to say and basically point finger. Oh, it's GOP's fault too. Listen.
The way that we see it is we have a plan. We have a plan to fight inflation. We are ready to help middle-class families, and Republicans are opposing that. They're opposing that because of false rage.
Cowboy, they have a plan. They have a plan. Where the hell have they been for 18 months? We're paying through the nose for food and fuel and everything else, and we're about to pay $1 gazillion for an electric bill to cool our homes. And they have a plan. Were they sitting on a plan, waiting to see how much more we can take before they unleash their plan? And by the way, false rage. This is real rage. This isn't false rage bull. Sorry, they're gonna have to bleep that one too. I did it last night. Cowboy, yours.
Well, listen. Everybody in Washington has a plan. And it's ridiculous. There is no plan. There never was a plan. There's not going to be a plan they're going to spring upon the American people. There is no plan. Look, facts do not cease to exist because you ignore them. And they continue to ignore the facts that are right in front of them. Anybody that goes to the gas pump can tell you the facts that gas prices are still high. Forget this, it's come down 70 cents a gallon on average. You don't look at the average when you go to the gas pump. You look at what you're paying. If it's $5 or $6, that's what you're paying. Food is expensive. The housewife, anybody that goes to the grocery store knows that food is expensive. These guys probably don't shop for themselves. They don't drive for themselves. They all sit around at cocktail parties in Georgetown, and they think that they're solving the world's problems when all they're doing is giving the rest of us a headache. The American people are way ahead of these guys, and guess what? They're about ready to deliver a hell of a blow to the Washington elitists. And I'm getting awful sick and tired about hearing about plans and everything else, and a 5-point plan, 10-point plan. Nobody has a plan, and they really ought to get with it and tell the American people the truth for a change, because as the old, spiritual says, the truth shall set you free.
Yeah, Cowboy, I wish they would. They don't know the truth. By the way, it's not only Democrats. It seems you get to Washington and you forget what the truth really is and what happens. Cowboy, always love having you on our Fridays. You give us some real common sense for the weekend. Patrick Dorinson, everyone, thank you so much.
You bet.
Hey guys, it's Rob Carson. I want to tell you about the Patriot Gold Group. But first, let me tell you that the S&P has already lost $8.2 trillion in 2022. Did you know that? Peak inflation is not even hit despite the Fed rate hikes on groceries, on gas. You know it as well as I do. Morgan Stanley and Goldman Sachs are warning of another 20% drop. Inflation is winning in a knockout right now. The Fed is going to raise rates again at the end of July. Meanwhile, Goldman, Wells Fargo, and Bloomberg are all forecasting gold to surpass all-time highs. If you want to invest in gold, call 888-936-2373 now. Call the Patriot Gold Group today and ask about their no-fee-for-life IRA. Sounds like a good deal, don't it? Here's the number, 888-936-2373. 888-936-2373 for the Patriot Gold Group.